Hello everybody, my name is Orion and welcome back to Strange Antiquities in the Vault. Hello Jupiter. The Doctor. Francisca Robertson. Growing up, Francesca's father was her hero. When he died suddenly and tragically in a mysterious incident, nobody seemed able or willing to give her the answers she demanded. And she grew tired of being fed the same stories that she knew could not be true. As she entered adulthood, she learned how to find things out for herself, and what she learned about opened her mind to a world she hadn't known existed, full of occult maladies and dark articles. She learned about Tolman's paralysis, Hobbes' fear, and Sapphire curse. She learned that these maladies could be cured. Verona Green. Verona was been a consultant in Undermere for as long as the streets had cobblestone and the churches had bell towers. She is respected and feared, which she revels in, and she is revered and admired when she tolerates her knowledge of the occult, but second to none, and her expertise has steered the citizens of Undermere away from catastrophe on more than one occasion. Near misses of the Selenic flame and the Woken Dendru are two such events that spring to mind. Selenic flame. Something moonfire. Woken Dendru, that is the servant. She is of the opinion that no problem is so great, obstacle so insurmountable, that it can't be diminished. Mine probably brewed poverty. Protection. No? Alright. Worth a shot. Let's see. Eli White. Well, the shop is still standing. That's something. Say what you will about Undermere, but this town is never quiet for long. I leave for a few days and suddenly everyone's talking about ravens and curses. I'm going to need to find a Verona to get up to speed on what's going on. At least I didn't come away from Ravenglass empty-handed. I can always rely on quiet Susan to unearth an interesting trinket or two. A memento mori that acts as an aid to recollection. Ares Remnant. Due to a form of synesthesia where colors and tones, light and shadow can be felt through touch. They are sometimes used by those who work in low light conditions such as miners. Gemstones in an Ares remnant are arranged in the shape of a constellation that shares its name. Right. Slate. Rough. Nothing to remark. Daedalus Link. Ethereal key is designed to be hidden from prying eyes. When activated by moving the object in circular motion, the key is revealed by its gemstone of light. These are rare items and not generally known outside of thaumaturgic circles. Gemstones are night power, the concealment charm. Right. These items can allow the bearer to pass unrecognized. If used for any length of time, the wielder can begin to lose their sense of self. Remains of bygone creatures have been used in thaumaturgy for centuries. From petrified teeth and bones to trilobites and ammonites and devil's toenails, Guides of Lillian is one such item that makes use of an ancient source of power. Hearing charm. Not generally used hard of hearing. They are curiosity that can be enjoyed by young and old alike, and of course there are more devious applications too. was known for their hero. Look at that. Heart chamber. There's a vast skull in the catacombs, said to be that of a beast, Blencathra. Holgar's followers believe that when he slew it, he trapped its soul along with its power in an item known as the Wraith Chamber. Heart chambers are based on a mythical object, but they have been morphed over the time to keep those dear to us close to heart after death. Holgar. These eerie creations are worn by priests of Holgar on various rituals relating to death and afterlife. Sacrament, ask for his protection. Wolf songs, truth seek his judgment. Path of the warrior. Yeah, this thing's a fucking mask. Painted to look like bone. Hard, somewhat rough, but smooth. Dark blue-green gemstone. Nothing to remark. Fills me with foreboding. Moonstone Guardian. Sent to take the form of comforting guardian. Orford's Spire. During the ride of the Red Knives, an Orford Spire is fully submerged in goat's blood for 9 days and 9 nights. When performed correctly, the rite is said to impart vitality and clarity of thought, although perhaps not for the goat. Wait. Energy about it. Iron grey metal, flecked dark red. It's not rust, it's blood. Hot tea made from the Dranthian plants. Drunk from it. Taking on different properties depending on the type of meadow. Sextrum. protects against insanity. These items, like the mind itself, are not well understood. Insanity protects. Shadow hold. Shimmer. These belong to a series of objects that were designed to slot into armor or weaponry. They induce calm rage in the face of unimaginable horrors of battle, allowing the bearer to stay one step ahead. The Knight of Thorns famously wore shimmer on his chestplate, but it didn't save him from being slain in the Battle of South of 1356, armor worn by the Knights of Thorns. Shin. These common items are made of using materials with connection to the ocean. They began as superstition, simple objects made by sailors and fishermen to keep their boats safe. With the help of the old thaumaturges, they became something more, and many lives were saved. Silent breath. There are those that consider the white heart a prize to be claimed, but there is no glory to be had in killing such a noble guardian of the forest. Silent breath contains a small token taken from a living white stag. While the stag lives, the item will retain its power, allowing the bearer to sense danger before it arrives. Next stag. Alright, let's check danger. White hair. Sleep vessel. 6 points of sleep vessel are said to represent 6 Thalmic disciplines: Selenic, Vedic, Noctic, Dianic, Wixic, and Mentic. They help people to stay awake beyond any natural limits by storing their fatigue. Over time and repeated use, they become more and more difficult to handle, as though the undreamed nightmares within are beginning to seep out. Six points. Bronze. Iron. Somewhat painful. Dark Astute. Untold fears inside. But some stay away from spirit eyes. opposing symbols. Gotta be opposing. Fire and water, earth and air, light and dark. Phosphorus and antimony. Not actually sure about that one. So I'm sure that Spirit Eye's gotta be that one. I'm not a good person. I'm pushing away the only people I care about. Help me do better, please. I have to change, but I don't know how. What do you have that can help me banish my inner demons and make me change stick this time? Wait. The leaves. Resonance compass. Point toward nearby resonant objects. The only objects that can be detected in this way. Resonant objects are highly prized both by amateurs and those who collect occult curiosities. The cat didn't snap Mr. Hungerford out of it, unfortunately. It's strange. At times he appears almost awake, but he is deep in some kind of trance and I can't get anything out of him. Seems to be searching for something. I'm beginning to suspect this beyond my skill set, but I'm not willing to give up easily. That's a bad idea, but I'm going to need a sleep vessel to get me through this week. Small lightweight, designed to be carried discreetly, non-precious metal, gemstone light. Moon and box thingy. Wood sign. Ah, yeah. Pearlescent blue glass. Surprisingly warm. Nothing to remark. Nothing to remark. Many years ago I owned a silent breath, but it was already old when I inherited it, and its power died soon after. It's about time I replaced it. Shit. Elva stones can be used to relieve the discomfort caused by otherwise incurable ailments such as Braxis or burning blood. Planetary metal used in these items is associated with Selenic discipline, a connection that is also reflected in their designs. I feel like I'm jumping too close to conclusions. heart feels lighter. Bronze. Bronze. Orange gemstone. Feels warmer than I would expect. Non-precious metal. A gemstone light. Warmer than I'd expect. The reason I couldn't put two together is because I dated a witch, kinda. Vibrating with energy. Gold, silver. Gold, iron. Weathered. Hard and cool. Hard and cool, hard and cool. Nothing to remark. Nothing to remark. I've always wanted to try a daedalus link. I have a personal interest in celestial plants, so I'm not completely new to such things, nor am I ignorant of the risk. And now I have a good reason for it. I need to take care of some roof repairs, and this would seem the safest way to approach it. Bird motif connects to flight. Using my weighing skills, I can confirm very light. Oh shit, I didn't even try the scales. Cossack Purifier. Small topaz gemstone known as the Eyes. Placed in a strong smelling liquid, usually some potent barley spirit or vinegar. Small construct answers rings or amulets, perhaps submerged in the liquid, left for a full cycle of the moon or cleanse or simple imbued curses or hexes. Of course, there's a limit to the effectiveness of this process. Yeah, that is light. Unbitted vibrates. Stone. Vinegar. Oh yeah. Don't have a compass. Green glass. Cork. Not too sure on that one. The ravens are back, I see. Looks like it's going to be worse this time. Speaking to Verona, I've come to extend an open invitation to Gleaston Castle. My family has lived there for generations, and I know there are artifacts that will be of use to you, gathering dust hidden in hidden corners. All I ask is that you stay out of the south tower in the master bedroom. Run anything you find by me first, of course. Here's something to get you started. Walk past the main staircase and turn left. Follow that corridor down to the end, and go through the door to the left. There's a small plinth in the corner of that room with an item on it that you are welcome to. Never did like it anyway. Edmund. Past the main staircase. Staircase. Down to the end. Door on the left. The plinth is not hard to spot in the corner of the room next to a small writing desk. Glass jar houses the object mentioned in Edmund's note. As I gather the item and turn to leave, my eye is drawn to a green book on the desk. The author's name is of particular interest. I pick it up and find Edmund on my way out, who encourages me to take it with me. I try to insist on paying for it at least, but he won't entertain the idea. Gemstones. Moon. Silver. Cool and smooth. Ethereal quality to it. Eli White. Amber. Sunstone. Dionic. Stone of containment. Stone of water. Stone for dark purposes. Diadic. Dionic. Stone of peace and safety. Stone of earth and nature. Anchor between body and mind, both eyed, stone of sight. Fairly pleasant, usually pink or off-white. Stone protection and helping light. Stone of fire and fury. Stone of the night, darkness. There are some who fear it and some who are seduced by it. Stone of strength. Noctic. Stone of death and decay. Grows on iron coffins and waterlogged corpses. Other stones can be used to relieve the discomfort Planetary metal used in these items is associated with Selenic discipline. Selenic means moon. Planetary metal would mean silver. So at the end of a long passageway, after days spent clearing away dangerous rockfalls, the duo came upon a chamber. In it, they found a small stone tomb, too small to contain human remains. What? A portrait of some dead lord eyes me suspiciously as I entered the room and start absent-mindedly opening drawers. The room is cold and austere, and I'm about to leave when I spot a crate under the chest of drawers. This could be something. Nothing gem. Pinkish gemstone. Stone. Bronze. Stone. Smooth. Something about the moon. No. Not sure about this fog today. It's an eerie atmosphere out there, especially with those damn ravens back again. It's usually fierce black dogs I have to worry about, not big black birds. But off inside, I reckon. The triangle has intrigued me ever since I first heard about it as a young boy. What caused the pine trees to grow like that? Did someone plant them? I know you'll at least have heard of it, but Did you know this? I calculated the exact center point, and there's a small clearing there. Can't be a coincidence. What's more, there's a certain energy about it. Not entirely welcoming either. I wonder if you might take a look for yourself. Thomas, Pope, and Hamish. Sure enough, as I approached the center of the curious triangular cups at the heart of Heath Wood, I come across a clearing. A tree that has been split in two stands in the center. Sunlight breaks through, and I take a deep breath of cleansing pine and earth. Almost immediately, I am struck by a sense of ominous power, and my intuition tells me that there is something unusual here at the heart of the wood. I examine the broken tree and notice some strange markings carved into the trunk. Heart beating fast, I spot something else embedded in the wood. The pennants arranged in a triangle shape. Ton of pennants. Bronze, green gemstone. Here's detailing. Bronze. Nothing to mark. Tin? Weathered. Guess fully. It's been many years since I've performed the rite of the red knives, but I can still remember every step. I'd do it one more time before I die, if I could only get my hands on the Northwood Spire. Try that place in Arnside, they sent me here. Here are the points of the item visible in the sketch. Close inspection reveals dried blood, suggesting this item has been submerged in blood. Amphibesian Talon. The Amphibesian Heart use these items as part of the grim initiation rite. They guard the secrets closely, but it's said that they worship the ancient nameless gods, communing with them via the broken path. Acolytes must press the tip of the talon hard against their cheekbone to the point of drawing blood. They perform this act nightly for 49 days, 7 sevens, after which the scar will forever mark them. I need to go away for a few days again. The Order of the Black Veil have the information I'm looking for. They seek to understand the world beyond death, drinking an elixir that sinks them into deep trance. If I'm right, I might be able to shed some light on these events. The problem is, I burned that bridge long ago. Could you hand me that Guise of Lillian? It won't be the first time I've used one to get around their hatred of me. Ammonite fossil. Had a body feeling, apparently. Tenebron cloak. Upon activating a Tenebron cloak, can create a sphere of its surrounding darkness that will cloak all within its reach. Single stone set in bronze gives power to these totems. Rebecca Rose. Hello. Oh, is that a cat? My eyes may have completely gone now, but it's good to know I still have my cat senses. I do hope I'm in the right place. My daughter told me about a shop that specializes in unusual items. My life's joy was always been painting. Without that in my life, I'm afraid I'm at a bit of a loss. I know that I will never see again, but is there anything in your collection that might help me paint again? I feel a little foolish for asking. It seems such a small thing, but to me it means everything. Ares Remnant or Spirit High? Duciform synesthesia with colors. Synesthesia. On heat and cold. Alakai gemstone hints at the ability to see a world beyond ours. Scythian charm. Older Scythian charms are carved out of wood, but the more powerful designs make use of planetary metals. No two are identical. They are used by horticulturists to encourage stubborn plants to thrive. They change with weather, usually quite cold, but warm and tingly to touch while it's raining. Cold. Usually quite cold. I'll have to check and see when it's raining. Clarence Hawker. Those ravens have done for 3 more poor buggers. 2 of 'em up at Kelgar and another fellow a fisherman. People are getting a bit panicky around there. Nothing natural about folks turning up with eyeballs so black like that. Now it's fog too. The night's drawing in, me working late, I refuse to walk down Holbrook Road without so much as a lantern. I had something nice and bright in mind. This item is amber gemstone stone light. It's made of bronze, non-precious metal. Close inspection reveals strangely warm. Serene ward, made from basilisk scales. A material known to endure intense heat, these unusual objects could permit the bearer to stand fire and flame and remain unharmed. They do not, however, offer protection against the deadly basilisk itself. Bend your ear to the trees. Hold your palm out to the wind. The ravens can feel it. Can you? Something is stirring. I will need a Holgan Grim for the coming days. Mask is an eerie item that can be worn. Sketch shows a priest wearing the mask with their back to us. Using the index, we can find a sketch of Holgar, to whom the mask bears a striking resemblance. Vivianite, stone of death. Huh, didn't know that. Lead heart. These items depict a god of non-human form. They're heavier than may look due to the core of lead hidden by more mortis exterior. They are said to kindle romantic interests and are sometimes given as wedding gifts. Something with horns. Oh. Alright. Inside was the reason they had toiled so hard. A small black casket. A very valuable small black casket. They knew enough not to open it, but perhaps too little to fully understand the danger it posed. Up the stairs, left and left again. Second on the right is where I spend each night. Taking a wrong turning, this isn't where I meant to come. Up. I accidentally picked. I was just going based on symbols. Bedroom looks like it hasn't been used for some time. A thin layer of dust coats the furnishings and cobwebs decorate every corner. Pulling back the thin curtains, let some light in before immediately reveal a macabre item that has been hiding on the windowsill all this time. Fingers? Amphesian Tower. Gold. The reef severed fingers? Surely not. Wood. Leathery. Hard and worryingly sharp. Hard and somewhat rough. Nothing to remark. It makes me feel uneasy. I don't like it. Nothing to remark. This can smell worse than it does. Quite unpleasant to touch. Withered flesh. Grim. Followers of the warrior god Holgar are not easy to come by, but they make up for their low numbers with zeal and grandiosity. Their priests have all the self-appointed authority of a village, fair to organize her, and the power struggles between clergy and acolyte are as bitter and hard-fought as many a debate about bunting or cake stands. Audrey has strong opinions about death and the afterlife, perhaps forgetting that the god she follows is best known for sending thousands of people reluctantly to it, but had very little to say about its substance. Rebecca Rose. Rebecca's eyesight deteriorated very quickly several years ago, and now she is just barely able to distinguish dark and light. This affliction has robbed her of the thing that brought her the most joy in the world, painting, and yet it has not robbed her of her determination, or her kindness, or her love for life. When she learned of strange antiquities, and that it might hold a way to restore her sight, she was hesitant. She never did anything without careful consideration, but eventually, the desire to paint again won over, and she decided to risk was worth taking. Alright, well, that's where we're going to leave this one. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe, ring that bell, and I'll see you all next time in the vault. Peace.